Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin, and joining me today, Steve Hatherley. Hello, Steve.
你好, hi. Thanks for having me back.
Always a pleasure having you in the studio talking about interesting issue, and in this show, learning some Chinese.
Perfect. Every show, actually.
Actually, yes. What have been some new phrases or just one thing that's constantly changing our world is the fact that the way we consume knowledge, we consume information, we acquire entertainment is different, isn't it, these days?
It's totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that we consume content is now completely different from the way that it used to be. I remember when I was a kid, my sisters used to have watch parties.
What is that?
That's something that people do. And I think they still do it in the West. When their favorite show comes out on TV, they'll invite their friends over to their house and they'll have some dinner or some drinks or whatever, and then they'll watch their favorite show. And I remember when I was a kid, my sisters had their favorite show, and it was on once a week. And they would invite their friends over every single week, and they would have their watch party. My point is, now, oftentimes shows get released a season at a time. You don't have to wait a whole week to see episode 2 or episode 3 or episode 4, because episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to the end of the season gets released at the same time.
Yes.
And then when that started, the idea of binge watching came about, where you'd finish a whole season in maybe a weekend or two, maybe depending on your time. There's that. Then there's short form videos, where our attention span has gotten so short that we can't really sit through anything longer than a few minutes. So yeah, the way that we consume content, and there's a million more examples, but it's completely different now.
It's completely different. And in the meantime, there started to actually, with the development of technology, and to be more precise, with the development of internet, and also the fact that everybody can be a content generator, quite different form of entertainment would be live streaming. Mm-hmm. Because think about it. I mean, live shows definitely have their perks, have their special attractions. You love live shows because it's full of excitement, it's full of possibilities, and it's the real reaction and everything. But one thing about live show, today's live streams, is that the person who is doing the live stream, they can actually constantly interact with the commenter, with whoever's watching, sending a comment. There is the possibility that this person would talk to you directly, reply to your comment or answer your questions. And that is definitely something that's building the engagement and intensify the closeness between the live streamer and the watcher.
Many years ago, I hosted my own show, and I said to my producer, let's do a Saturday caller show. I'll come to work on Saturdays. We'll do it live. And we'll just take callers. We'll start the show with a question, and we'll keep that question going for the whole show. And he said to me, what if no one calls? And I said, I don't know. Let's find out.
Let's find out.
He said, this is really dangerous. I said, let's find out. We kept that show going for a year.
Wow.
Yeah, we started the show with one question and then just waited for the phone to ring. And it rang consistently. And that's what the show was. Taking calls, talking to callers about what they thought about the question that we were posing that day. And I love that about live interactions, live shows. Of course, you're going to have mistakes sometimes. That's what makes a live show a live show. But in my opinion, it's the best way to be.
Yes, and one of the subcategory of these live shows, these live interactions, especially those that are not made by certain, for example, media group, but by individual who are starting a online chat with other internet users, other netizens watching the show, is this subcategory is selling product via live streaming. And the perk is definitely out there. You get to ask questions about the certain product that you're interested in. You can have the person try it on. It's kind of like, TV shopping shows.
Yes, it's like home shopping, but you're there, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is I feel like it's one of the most popular programs on especially social media platforms. Of course, there are certain, for example, brand doing these kind of live stream shows introducing their product. There are celebrities. They would share some of the product that they have tried and they liked, and they would start a deal with the brand and start selling the product. And there would be occasions of this person is just, doing advertising or different forms. I mean, where there is a deal, you cannot expect the deal to be perfectly 100% genuine from the good heart of the seller. You know what I mean? But the point is, there are these different forms, and live stream shopping started to be one of the most popular ways of making these deals happen for both the shopper and the seller. It's definitely mutually beneficial nowadays.
100% it is. The obvious benefit for the seller is that you can answer those questions live, taking care of any concerns that your potential customer may have. And vice versa, that's the benefit for the potential customer as well, is that they can have any questions they have about the product answered. And it's just such a natural way to sell things and buy things these days, considering the technology that we have available to us at our fingertips. Why wouldn't people do it?
Yes, and live stream shopping in Chinese actually would be 直播卖货.
直播卖货.
Perfect. So 直 means direct or without any delay in the sense.
Okay.
播 is broadcast. So 直播 would be broadcast directly, where whatever you do, it's been broadcasted. So it's live streaming.
Okay.
So there is also, for example, 录播, 录 being 录制, 录 would be record. So a recorded show would be 录播. But to be honest, I don't think the concept of 录播 or the using of the word 录制播出录播 is quite that common in today's everyday life, except for example, in the media sector. People do not use that quite so much.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right, because live streaming is something that's commonly done through social media apps, but recorded streams on social media apps,
that's not so popular.
You can watch again.
You can rewatch. You can watch the playback.
Yeah.
We call it 回放.
回放.
So 回 being come back to, return to, and 放 is 播放. So you go back to the beginning and you play. That'll be 回放. It means to replay, to watch the playback. Yes.
I see. Do you know what we call that in English for a TV show? A rerun.
Yes, to run it again.
And you don't hear that word very much anymore.
No, see, that's the thing. So anyways, 直播 being live stream, and I used the word 卖货, so sell product.
卖货.
Yes, 货品, 货物, that's the product or the good. And 卖 means sell. But in fact, a much more common way of saying this is 带货. So 带 means bring. Bring.
Okay.
So the reason is that at the very beginning, when live streaming was not for the purpose of selling product or introducing product, it was just a live show. It can be a live show or any kind of show. And the show, when you're watching the show, you feel like, wow, that lady looks amazing in that outfit. I would love to get a dress like that. And you get to see that the 直播 or the content or the program in itself, it does not hold the purpose of selling anything, yet it brings the beauty, the greatness of the product right into your eyes, making you want to buy it. So instead of making advertisement, what they do is that they accidentally make you want to have the same copy, the same version, the same style of thing that the celebrity or whoever's in the show is using.
There was an app. I don't know if they still have the app, but there was an app where you could search what a celebrity or an actor, I should say, was wearing in a particular scene in a particular show. And I watched some television series, and in one particular scene, the actor was wearing this really cool pair of sunglasses. And I thought,
you really want it.
So I thought, how am I going to find those? I don't know the brand, and he's not talking about the sunglasses. He's just wearing them in the scene. Anyway, I searched it on the internet, and it led me to this app, and you can type in the app, this scene from this show and the actor's name, and there were the sunglasses right there. And I ordered them online immediately.
See, you see the beauty of watching a show, watching a program, and finding something that you just meets your eye and you want to get it. And that was the very beginning of using live streaming as a way to advertise something. It was done much more subtly. It was done much more unpurposely. That was the first stage. And later on, people realized, hey, we're doing live streaming. We can talk to shoppers directly. We can answer their questions, take care of their concerns. That is a good way to sell our product. They started to actually sell the product with the live stream. But people are still using 带货 instead of 卖货 more commonly. So the content creator, they have the show here and they bring the product along with the show. So that becomes the most common way of saying live streaming shopping. So live streaming shopping, mostly you would hear people say 直播带货.
You say it together.
Yes, so 直播 is live streaming,
Yep.
带货 together. But if in any common sense, you would not see 带货 being the common Chinese used for selling product, only in 直播带货 this scene.
Got it. And I don't need any more places or any more reasons to shop for anything else online. It's just too good and it's too convenient and it's too convincing.
Yes.
As well.
Yes. So today we're going to introduce to you some of the keywords, expressions, different ways to express things under the theme of online or live stream shopping, 直播带货. So for our dear listeners, if you're interested in Chinese culture and you want to get a grip on the Chinese language, then this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway. We've already talked about 直播 being live stream. Do you know what is a live streaming studio?
直播 studio.
That's basically right, because when we talk about studio, we're basically talking about room. So a room is a 房间.
房间.
Which makes live stream studio a 直播间.
You cut off part of the word. 直播间.
直播间. Because in the word 房间, 房 is kind of like a house, and 间 is a room. And together, 房间 means a room, and 间 carries the meaning of room already. This is the kind of phenomenon that you will see constantly a lot in the Chinese language. That is, when there are two words and you're putting them together, you kind of want to shorten them in different ways by omitting certain characters and you put them together.
Okay, interesting.
Yes, it's actually quite useful.
Can you think of another example of that?
It's actually very common. The only problem is that there's no rule of which character to omit. So you're going to have to remember each and every example. For example, you're from Canada, I'm from China. So if we're talking about 中国, China, 加拿大, Canada, 关系, so relationship. So the relationship between China and Canada. In Chinese, you can shorten it to 中加关系.
Okay.
中国, that's China. 加拿大, 加, 中加. China, Canada, 关系, relationship.
You're taking the first syllable from each of the two country names, putting them together. Okay, but there's no rule for that. You can't apply that to other examples. For example, the first syllable of this word combined with the first syllable of the next word. Sometimes it's the second syllable. So, okay, so it's just example by example.
Example by example. And also, when it comes to this one, actually, 直播间 in itself is already a word. It's kind of like a set phrase, word, but it's a word. And for 房间, 间, this one is actually quite... you can kind of say it's a tiny little rule here. That is, if you're talking about a certain room, you always use 间, using 房间的间 as the room character in the word. We have 直播间 for live stream studio. We also have, for example, 洗手间, 洗手 meaning washing hands. So the room that you wash your hands in, that would be a bathroom. Yeah, see? Now you know. That's 洗手间. Or if you're thinking about doing makeup, then makeup is 化妆.
化妆.
And 化妆间 would be the makeup room.
化妆间.
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 Perfect. See, that's a tiny little rule here.
There must be a million examples of that.
Yes, actually there are.
I got it. So that's something that you just don't worry about trying to learn all of them at the same time. Just learn them as they come to you.
Yes, and remember them. And gradually, you would figure out the non-rule. That is, you kind of have a feeling of how to put these things together and omitting certain characters.
Got it. When you get more of a feel for the language.
Yes, in Chinese, we say 语感. This is also a good one.
Okay.
语言.
语言.
Language.
感
觉 feeling.
感觉.
感觉 is the Chinese word for feeling.
Okay.
For example, if you say, I feel cold, 我感觉有点冷. I feel cold. I feel 感觉有点 a little bit 冷 cold. 我感觉有点冷. So 感觉 is feel. It can be a verb and also can be used as a noun. So 语感语言的感觉 the feeling of the language.
Aha. Goodness me, this is a little above my level.
It's okay, you're going to get 语感 a bit later.
But I do understand what you mean. So that's going to be in the back of my mind when these examples come to me for sure.
Yes, and also when your 语感 gets better, your feeling for the Chinese language gets better, you kind of feel like you know how to do it. You cannot explain it 100%, but you know how to do it. You feel which one is right, and you're mostly right. Then it says something about your 语感. It means your 语感 is really good.
I understand.
Yes. And once you're in a 直播间, you're in a live stream studio that is designated for product selling.
Sure.
You're very likely to 下单.
下单.
Place an order.
下单.
So 下 carries the meaning of down. So put down an order. It means like you put it down, you make
like
sure. Place, precisely. And 单 is a table or a sheet or a order in this sense. 单 can sometimes be understood as also a measure word. 一单 is one order, 两单 two orders. But in itself, I always understand it as a piece of paper carrying out all the information about the purchase you're making.
Okay.
And you put it down, you place the order, and that's it.
Okay, understood. For 单, 一单, for example, one order, you can use that in any situation when you're asking for something. For example, can you ask that at a restaurant, please? Like, meaning like one serving?
Well, not really, but it is used in a restaurant setting. When you want to pay the bill, you say 买单.
买单.
Yes, that in my memory or in my head, I usually understand it as 菜单. So 菜单 is a menu. So if you're buying, you're paying for the orders you select from the menu. You basically created your own little menu for this dinner.
Your own order sheet.
Your own order sheet. And you're 买单, you're buying the sheet, you're paying the bill. So 单 could be used in this scenario in this way. But you see, the meaning of 单the meanings are always associated with each other a little bit.
Got it.
But I understand why you're saying this. You can 下单 in online purchasing situations much more often because this is still a relatively official word. And if you're making a procurement, for example, you're placing a really huge order with a plant, with a factory, then 下单 is the right word. But if you're going into a real
ice cream shop.
Yes, then the word 下单 is a bit strange.
Okay. So in that case, you in English, you could say, can I get 1 vanilla ice cream, please? But you would not say,
Can I place an order for
yeah.
same idea?
Yeah, okay. It would be weird.
It would be a little bit weird.
I
But
understand.
if
The person working would totally understand what you
Yes.
said, but they might think, wow, you're being very official about this ice cream purchase.
Yes.
I got it.
Yeah, so the thing is, if you're doing online shopping, even if you're only paying for 2 yuan for 2 pencils, you can still use 下单.
Got it.
So that's 下单. And another thing about online shopping, about these form of purchasing that I really enjoy is that there's always a discount, one way or another. And we say 优惠.
优惠.
Yes. So 优 meaning good or excel at certain thing. In Chinese primary school, I think secondary school, we do not do that anymore. But in primary schools, when the teachers are grading your papers or your homework, they sometimes would use 优良中差, these 4 Chinese characters.
Okay.
In English, you can use A, B, C, D. In Chinese, 优 means excel, perfect, really good. 良 means above average, good. 良好 is really good, but not A-level good. It's kind of like B+.
Yeah.
中 means middle or medium. 中 and 差 means bad.
It's a grading
You don't
system.
really get 差.
Not in primary school.
No, you don't get bad. You're doing a bad job.
What's the connection then between 优 in the meaning of discount? Because you just described it to mean something that's very good.
Yes,
to
that is
excel.
a really good question because 会 carries the meaning of benefit, certain kind of benefit. So,
Oh, excellent benefit.
exactly. Good benefit. That means you are getting a discount.
I understand. So when you are out shopping and you want to ask for a decreased price, can you simply say 轻优惠?
Actually, you can. Or you can say 有优惠吗?
优惠吗?
So do you have any kind of deal that I can take advantage of?
Okay.
Remember at the very first several episodes, we talked about 打折.
打折.
So that was the, quote unquote official way of saying discount.
For asking for like
Discount.
10% minus 20%. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 优惠 is a bit different. 优惠 can be a discount. It can be I am sending you one with the right price, with the exact same price, yet I'm giving you one for free. So technically speaking, you're having a 50% discount, yet I didn't say it's a 50% discount. It's just a combo sell kind of mechanism. And it can also be I'm giving you product B as a gift if you're buying product A. So different ways of giving discounts or giving you a preferential policy with regard to this purchase.
So if you say 优惠吗, that means like, do you have any specials?
Yes. Do you have any kind of plan, any kind of specials? For example, another way of giving you a discount or giving you, again, a 优惠 would be 包邮.
包邮.
Yes, that actually means free shipping or free delivery.
包邮.
Yes,
That's-
also
包邮
very important.
包邮 is quite common these days.
In China, yes. So 包 carries the meaning of I'm covering this, cover it. 邮 is the shipping fee. So I would cover the shipping fee for you. Then you do not have to pay for it.
Or if you want to ask, are you covering the shipping fee? Then you just put ma at the end.
Yes.
包邮吗?
包邮吗? Quite easy. So these are some expressions. Of course, we also have 买一赠一. So buy one, get one for free. 买 being buy. You want that one, huh?
Well, and I'll tell you why.
You cannot ask people 买一赠一嘛. You're going to
No.
giving me one for free.
Listen, you can. There's
Really?
the bread shop. Well, they probably don't like me, but the bread shop that I go to, it's outside the supermarket, right? So after we leave the supermarket, we always walk by the bread store. And one night they did have a buy one, get one free. So we stopped at the bread shop and we bought it. So then every time after we walk by there, I ask them
Every time?
every single time. They see me and they're like, oh no. Every time I ask them, is it buy one, get one free? But I always do hold up two fingers, 1 + 1. And they're like, no.
Now you know how to say that in Chinese.
So this might work to my advantage if I show them. I've learned how to say this in Chinese.
See,
now.
you want to give you something for free.
How do I say that?
Okay, 买一赠一.
买一
赠.
That's that difficult pronunciation, isn't it? It's between the J and the Z sound,
Yes.
but it's halfway in between.
Halfway.
See, this is a tough one for English speakers.
赠.
赠.
Yes, 赠一.
赠一.
Yes. If you really don't want to use 赠 because it's a bit hard to pronounce, yet I have to tell you, this is a relatively more sophisticated way and common way of saying it, but you can use the alternative that is less common, but 送.
送.
送 means give.
Okay.
Or send for free, something. So 买一送一 also works.
买一, but I want to learn it this way. 买一赠一, 赠一.
赠.
赠.
对,赠.
赠. 买一送一吗?
Yes. Actually, your pronunciation is a little between 赠 and 送.
Yeah.
You can hear the tiny difference, right? It's a bit hard for you to pronounce, yet you can hear the difference. Okay. 赠, 送.
With this pronunciation, where does my tongue go? Where is my tongue located?
The tip of your tongue is right against your teeth.
The back of my teeth.
Yes.
Upper
赠.
teeth or lower teeth?
Lower teeth.
Lower
teeth.
teeth.
赠.
赠.
Smile a little bit. 赠.
赠.
Yes, perfect.
Now this is fascinating because I can't think of any example in English, pronunciation example, where your tongue goes against the bottom
Of your teeth?
of your teeth, the back of your bottom teeth. We do have letter pronunciations or word pronunciations where your tongue goes against the back of your upper teeth. That's why I asked you for clarification. And when I was trying to practice before, I was putting it against the back of my upper teeth because that's
why.
natural for me.
Yes. And when it comes to 赠.
赠.
Okay, so when you're pronouncing it, put it against the back of your lower teeth. And when you are finishing it, take it back. 赠.
赠.
Yes, perfect.
That's tough because you're retraining
The way you use the muscle of your teeth.
Of your mouth, and of your tongue.
Of your tongue, yes.
Oh, wow.
And when it comes to 送. 送 is still against your lower teeth, but you're tilting your tongue a little bit.
Okay.
And when you're pronouncing it, you get it back a little bit. So when you're finishing it, you withdraw it a little. So
this one is not too difficult for English speakers, maybe, because it just sounds like a very soft S sound.
Yes, 送.
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 赠送.
赠送.
Yes. Yay.
Goodness me.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. 买一赠一.
赠.
赠一.
买一赠一.
买一赠一吗?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to the bread shop after the show today.
Okay. And that is how to say these different things in Chinese. You're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Niu Honglin Steve. We would love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts via email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. Coming up next, let's continue talking about live stream shopping in China. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes.
How do you say we are in Chinese?
It depends.
Okay. Because I was thinking during that little break that you and I, we are kind of like 买一赠一 on
yes,
Takeaway
we
Chinese.
are.
We're 1 + 1.
Except that no one's paying for the show, you get it? We're just, free of charge altogether.
I'm the plus. I'm the plus one.
We're 免费, totally 免费. No one's paying one, getting one for free. They're just paying nothing and getting two.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
I don't think there's an expression for that.
No.
Pay nothing, get two.
Pay nothing, get two. No, we do have free of charge. That's 免费.
免费.
So 免 means exempt, and 费 is a fee. So free of charge in total.
So So if I want to ask, is this free? Then I can say 免费吗?
Yes, you can say that.
Okay.
But if you need to ask that, I'm pretty sure it's not free.
I can't think of a place. I cannot use that at the bread shop.
No, don't use it in a bread shop. But if you want a good deal, you can go online and see whether or not you can get a bread online with a cheaper price. Because usually you can. Because these days in China, the e-commerce industry is just, booming. It's becoming an important force. Actually, in driving domestic consumption and promoting international trade. For example, in 2023, China's online retail sales exceeded 15 trillion yuan. That is over 2 trillion US dollars. And among them, China's live streaming e-commerce has developed rapidly. In 2023, the market size of live streaming e-commerce reached 4.9 trillion yuan. That is around 690 billion US dollars. And the year-on-year growth rate, over 35%.
Wow. Do you go grocery shopping?
All the time.
You go to the store?
I do still go to the store, but I also do online shopping all the time. Nowadays it's getting more and more convenient, and the convenience actually affects the price in grocery stores, like brick and mortar stores as well here in China. Not only can you get sometimes a better deal depending on the exact product you're looking for, the kind of discount the store is promoting at that time. It's just, if you are really price sensitive, you do have to make the comparison between the brick and mortar stores and the online stores.
Sure.
Because previously, like several years ago, online stores would definitely give you a better deal, but it's getting changed a little bit. It shows the development, actually, I feel like.
Yeah, and it shows the popularity, too.
Yes.
I have a strategy. So heavy stuff, I buy online.
Yeah.
And light stuff, I just go to the grocery store, because I still enjoy the experience of actually going to a grocery store and seeing the colors and the smells and the vibrant atmosphere. I still enjoy it, but I divide what I purchase between online and grocery store, heavy versus light.
I don't have a rule, because now I feel like online shopping and shopping in a real brick and mortar store are just two parts of the purchasing activity in my life. Previously, one would go for an online store for a better price. Now I think it's for a variety of goods, for the delivery, for example, there's also one way that is we call in Chinese 村播 or 乡村直播, that's doing online shopping or e-commerce. The selling place or the merchants are in the rural area, meaning that they're selling certain kind of agricultural product. The product are hard to find in brick and mortar stores for different reasons. For example, the store does not import these goods into their store, yet you can get them online. And if you're interested in a certain kind of grapefruit that you don't get in the store right next door, you can get it online.
Yeah, exactly. It's become so easy, right?
It's become so easy. So nowadays, online shopping is becoming a more and more important part of our life. And we have even shopping frenzy and shopping festivals here in China for the Double 11. Have you heard of the 双十一 Double 11 festival?
So what I've heard is that is the biggest.
One of the biggest.
One of the biggest of the year.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about this, and tell me the strategy. For example, if I guess we can.
You're a Canadian. You cannot work the strategy. I cannot even work the strategy.
Oh, okay.
It's really complicated. Well, it's not complicated. It just takes time for you to find the perfect deal, because there are just so many different deals and different discounts.
Well, I was going to ask for a more basic strategy. So if you're interested in buying, I don't know, some home appliance or something like a TV.
Wait till this period of time and
right.
do make the purchase.
Okay, so if you're living in China and you're going to make a big purchase, maybe a new computer or a new phone or something like that, or some house furniture, and you're thinking about it like 2 months before, then just wait. What kind of discounts are we talking about?
We're talking about the ones that you would definitely find attractive. But I cannot give you a number because there are just so many different strategies. For example, some online shopping platforms would allow you to exempt 30 when you reach the threshold of 300.
Okay, so if you spend 300, then you get, a certain discount.
Yes.
Okay.
And also sometimes it's when you spend 5,000, you get a certain discount. And that kind of discount can plus the discount that's provided by the brand or by the shop on the platform. And sometimes when you're buying stuff from different shops on the same platform, that shares a same discount, you can calculate the sum amount of money you're going to spend collectively and using the discount. So it's kind of complicated, yet I think at the end of the day, whether or not you would love to do the math or not, it's still a sure thing that around this time of the year, you can get the best discount.
Yes. Okay. And when does that exactly kick off?
11/11 Double 11 Festival. That is 双十一 Double 11. So it's the 11th of November. But usually in these years, you can see the discount basically the end of October and the first half of November. You'll be able to enjoy that discount.
I see. Companies try to get ahead of the game a little bit.
Yes.
Oh, it must be a really exciting time in China.
Enjoy it and try to use the phrase we've learned today.
Yeah, right.
And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Steve here in the studio. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can also listen to the show and read the script there. Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Just search for Takeaway Chinese. Don't forget to leave your questions, comments, and ratings and tell us what did you buy this year. Thank you for listening. 我们下次再见。
谢谢，拜拜。